Welcome to Rivals Race Chat. I'm Clinton Jeffrey. I'll be joined by Mike Mallett and Adam Ross before too long. We have our regular show planned, but we got some cool stuff coming on tonight, and glad you'll all join us. We do have a bit of recap going on from the Ashweekend banquet. A few things still left over from that we will be getting to. So thanks everybody for joining us, and good luck to all the sprint car drivers that will be coming along with us. As I mentioned, Mike Mallett will be with us. We'll be recapping some of the stuff going on at the Dirt Banquet over the weekend, the trade show, Syracuse, the Ashweekend banquet. We talked about the pinball situation for those of you who are affiliated with Ashweekend and know the Mike pinball story that we've got going on there. But so great to have you with us. As always, this is an interactive show, so feel free to send us your questions, comments, anything else you want. And, of course, Adam Ross is late as usual, but we'll give him a pass tonight because it is Angie's birthday, and I think he's out with her and doing his new self-help course. So getting ready to roll into tonight's show, we'll bring on Mike Mallett. And, Mallett, if you can hear me, welcome to the program, sir. How are you doing?
I'm great, and if you can hear me, let me know.
Spencer, we need to see the rundown on the right side. That keeps us alive here and gives us our talking point. So, yes, thank you. What's in the ovens? I'm not sure if Stephen Ovens is around tonight. Spencer, have you had contact with Stephen, and are we able to get him on board? We are waiting to hear back if he can get with us. But either way, Mallett, we've got you here. Welcome back to the show. You've been a semi-regular guest over the past few weeks, and we thank you for joining in. Let's talk about what went on in Syracuse over the weekend with the Dirt Banquet. We've also got you here to talk about the Gobbler coming up. What was the hot story in Syracuse over the weekend at the trade shows? That's always a good rumor mill.
Just everybody kind of preparing, getting ready for the off season. I talked to a ton of guys, so and asked them, "Hey, what do you got going on?" And they're basically like, "Mount, we don't know because it's only November." So there's going to be some changes, to some different teams, guys maybe doing a little bit less racing or racing closer to home here moving forward. But I think the big story for me was, again, Matt Williamson finally getting to celebrate that championship. He celebrated it in Charlotte, but I think Saturday night, the realization of it all came home for him. Very emotional speech as he was up on stage, thanking everybody and all the help that he's had getting here. And, the other guy I got to say did a great job was Matt Shepard. They asked some questions about himself, and Matt basically said, "Look, tonight's not about me. Tonight's about Matt Williamson. Those guys went out and won it. Congratulations to them." And, class act there, a couple other guys did the same. Billy Decker said the same thing, class act there with Billy Decker. Those guys just congratulating that team on the season they had. And, I think the thing that stuck out the most to me, Matty had one race outside the top 10 all season long with the Super Dirt Car Series and finished every lap of every race. That's pretty impressive, and that a well-deserved consistency pays off. And then in 2019, it did for him. And, I can say the after party was a good time for myself and George Smith. We had some fun. We got to hang out with Matty, the team, the sponsors and stuff. And it was a blast as always.
Well, I cut my race and drinking teeth with Matty's team when he was just a youngster before he could drink. But his Uncle Dipper and those boys used to race with him at Sportsman at Ashweekend. And Doug Leonard used to have a one beer rule. They could bitch at us till the Bud Light was gone, and after one beer, we didn't want to talk about anything else that went on the night, and we'd have some good yelling sessions. Mike, let's talk about some of the other situations that have come on board recently in the dirt circuit. Let's say the changing of chassis and providers and makes and models by different drivers. That seemed to be the hot story at the end of the year. Lots of teams jumping ship. So with Shepard, and I mean, I'll tell you the rumors I'm hearing. Shepard may be unhappy with Bicknell, and I mean, I'm not trying to start rumors. I'm just passing on what we've heard as we do here. But, with Matt Williamson being the house guy now, who's running so well, there's been rumors that Shepard may go to Troy and try and rejuvenate that. Are you hearing anything like that? What's the hot story there? Has Shepard indicated where he's going to be?
It's funny you say stuff like that because, I mean, all weekend at the show, you see the different guys checking out the booths. Matt Shepard spent a good amount of time standing in the Troy booth, chatting with Peter Britton. Rob Fuller, who is now involved with Troyer race cars. Maybe just chatting with him and probably feeling it out. But I think right now, no matter what guys say, what they're doing, beating Bicknell is it's tough. You got to be on your game, and Bicknell has kept it simple. They've kept things the same. They've been able to consistently get things done, and The thing I hear from all the guys that have switched, here the last few weeks or whatever it is, or last end of the season, they all say you can't beat the customer service that you get with Bicknell. If you're struggling, if you got a problem, they'll come out, they'll give you that baseline setup, that basic help that you need to get kind of headed in the right direction. And then once you do, you're kind of on your own a little bit, but that basic setups up, that basic idea, hey, this is what we need. I had a long conversation with Jimmy Phelps, who obviously didn't have a year that he wanted to have. And we chatted about the switch to Bicknell. He just said, it wasn't like Bicknell did anything crazy or told us anything we really didn't already know, but they kind of pointed us in the direction where we needed to be. And we've put ourselves such down a rabbit hole trying to search and find to figure out what we needed that we got that far away from what we traditionally do. And switching to the Bicknell, they said, hey, do this, this, and this. And then for us, it was just the minor tweaks, the adjustments off of that kind of got us going back in the right direction. So, whether it was the car, the chassis for Jimmy Phelps, who knows? But that little bit of help from Randy and the guys at Bicknell, got it, cleared his head, so to speak, and got him kind of back on track. And again, I've heard that from plenty of guys, and I talked to Ryan Godown, and Ryan's really happy with the Troy, and the TD5 that came out, they're working on it, they're adjusting it, they're making changes. And he said to me, he goes, I don't know if we're necessarily right back yet where Bicknell is with this design and what we're doing, but he goes, we're on the right track, and I'm hoping we hit something that, we're going to have an edge on these guys running the Bicknells. So that was the flip side of the conversations I had this weekend, So guys are just kind of feeling things out, looking at things, and at the end of the night, I did see Maddie talking. So, hey, whatever it is. But it looks like they finally, whatever animosity that might have been there from earlier in the season or late in the season, whatever you want to say, kind of played out, and they were chatting, and it looks like, things were good, and they were both laughing and joking around.
Right on. Welcome to the party, Sunshine. How was your dinner? Oh, you better turn him on.
Please don't.
Spencer, is this you? No, this is we talked about some audio issues. This Spencer, he says this isn't you, this is Adam. So you got to fix that. All right, so you guys can tip out. I did hear him cough earlier, though. That was his big entrance. But let us know when you got it back. Quickly, I just want to mention Jibs has been killing it since 2010. We'll get back to them in a minute. They're Canada's source for the best scooters, BMX, bikes, and skateboards. They also have an amazing selection of scooter parts, apparel, and BMX accessories. You can shop online at jibsactionsports.com or visit their store in Burlington, Ontario. Thanks, Spencer. Well, I believe, Matt, there's so many great things going on there with, all these chassis. It gives us guys a lot to talk about, that's for sure. Congrats to those guys. Great to see Matt Shepard with the Class Act to, give the proper congratulations to Matt Williamson. It's funny we talk about rumors, though, because we're going to have some great stuff to talk about here in the coming weeks. People call me and told me some rumors on the weekend. I hear they're going to come true. So we'll just tease that a little bit, but I'll let you know what's going to happen there next week. But Mike, any other big stories from the weekend?
Check one, two.
Oh, we got you now, Adam.
A couple of things I know from my home track, Utica Rome Speedway. We got things headed in the right direction where we want to go. I know we'll be back with dirt car. There's been a lot of rumors what we're doing, this and that. We're going to be back with dirt car on Sundays. And I know the big hot thing at the car show was we're having the Hangover 2.0. We're bringing it back. Tanner Robinson was instrumental in starting the first Hangover at Ransomville. She plays a big part helping out at Utica Rome Speedway on Sunday nights. And her and Bill and Kim Shea all got together, kind of talked about it. And looks like we're going to have the Hangover 2.0 at Utica Rome Speedway here on January 1st, 2020 to kick things off. So I'm excited about that. We got almost 40 entries already, including some local hot shoes, if you will. Dean Reynolds has entered the event. Brian Carter has entered the event. Lyle DeVore from Albany, Saratoga. So, hey, things are looking up. That, to me, is going to be a great time. And the other big news for my track was with the Empire Super Sprints, it looks like the Coal Cup will cap off Speed Week this year. So 50 laps, 5,000 on the line, same format we ran last year, but that will be the pinnacle of Speed Week. So now we have a pinnacle event at the end of our 5 nights of racing. So for me, that's the things that pump me up, being a Utica Rome guy. So, some other tracks came out with their Super Dirt Car Series stuff. Land of Legends, obviously 3 Super Dirt Car Series dates moving forward. I know Weedsport has talked about some changes to their schedule. They're not quite there yet in what's done and what they're doing. So a lot of shifting, I think you're going to see some changes coming with schedules and so on and how people are doing things here in 2020. The other news, I think it came out just a couple days before. I don't know if you had a chance to talk about it, but Plattsburgh Airborne Park Speedway up for sale. Future there is uncertain, so that's definitely not something you want to see. Robbie Knowles and the team up there, and he had 1 year to kind of turn things around, and they turned it around, just not enough for the owners of that facility. So right now the place is up for sale and looking for a buyer to save the place.
Well, hopefully everything goes well there. Adam, welcome to the program. Are you with us now, sir?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? We can hear you now.
All right. I want about 90 seconds here. I was not out for dinner. I've been doing some online learning that happens every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And I shut down at about 8:50 to 8:55 so I can get ready to come on and start this program. Well, tonight at 8:49, my 12-year-old black lab Jack started to pee in the living room and then started to walk to the kitchen, over to the hallway, down, still peeing. Like there is a trail of pee all the way around. I was blown away that he could pee for this long. Never seen him pee inside. Never seen him pee and walk at the same time. So I've got a river in my house. I opened the front door, let him go. Get the hell out of here. So I was thrashing to clean the dog urine. So I've got the young dog in his crate. I can hear Jack barking outside. He is somewhere within a few houses of here, but I let him go to deal with the damage. So then this show started. I'm like, I'm late. I knew I was late. Signed in. I could hear you guys. Then you couldn't hear me. And I'm like losing my mind. Then I got the sound in that working. And Spencer says, okay, we're going to get you back on shortly. And of course, then is where I started to hear the dog barking just outside. So I'm thinking, what the hell has he gotten himself into? I've got to figure out what's going on before the police show up at my door, because he's tracking down some dog walkers in the neighborhood. God only knows. You can probably hear the younger one crying in his crate next to me. So Clint, that's how my evening has gone so far. I hope you guys are having a great night. This one's been eventful.
There's no segue out of that.
There's not. I am wrong. I showed up late to the party. I deserve, if you threw me under the bus, I deserved it because I was late. But I'm going to say, you know what? If you're throwing me under the bus,
so can you hear me, Spencer?
And he's gone.
All right.
Must be.
We all start
grabbing
our computers and trying to figure out what's going on. All right. Spencer, let's go to commercial anyways while we try and figure this out. As I mentioned earlier, Jib's been killing it since 2010. Canada's source for the best scooters, BMX, bikes, and skateboards. They also have an amazing selection of scooter parts, BMX, and apparel, plus accessories. You can shop online at Jib's Action Sports or visit their store in Burlington, Ontario. Browse the best selection of trick scooters at Jib's, Canada's favorite scooter shop. Get the kids something active and get them outside this year for Christmas. Check them out, jibsactionsports.com. I want to thank Mark and all his staff for all the support they give us. Well, Mallet, trade show at Syracuse. So we touched on it a bit. It can be a topic of hot rumors. I know a lot of people from our neck of the woods make the 2.5 to 3 hour journey down there to check it out. We still hear some resentment to the folks who are pissed off that it's at the fairgrounds and they boycott because of that. That there are still some folks out there that are mad and feel like they'll never step foot on that property from what they did to the mile track, right?
Yeah, it's done. It's gone. It's over. We can't get it back. It's unfortunate, but what can you do? I'm not going to punish the new people. I'm not going to punish Jeremy Corcoran that runs the trade show because of, what people did in the past. Just like when Gator had the show prior to that, I didn't punish them for what happened, when the fairgrounds decided to change their racing. Unfortunately, that's the climate we live in, the day and age that we're in, and racing is not what it used to be. Racing doesn't take a priority. Racing doesn't have the top spot in people's hearts anymore. I think we already all know that. I think I don't know if you've seen the meme or the whatever it is going around on the internet about, like 1950, they build a racetrack and then it goes down like every 10 years, people get closer to the track. Then in 2010
I did see
or
that,
whatever,
yeah.
it gets shut down. Yeah, and that pretty much sums up the day and age we live in. These racetracks were all built in places where, people didn't care that they were there or they were far enough away from civilization that it didn't matter. And, not anymore. I think the cool thing for me with the fairgrounds is, racing came back. Lenny Salmons and the gang over at Area Auto Racing News, brought us indoor racing back at the convention center. Is it the mile? Nope. But you know what? We got racing back at the fairgrounds. It's at least something, to be nostalgic about, and that it's still going on. So you can't hate the people putting on these shows and doing all the things they're doing to try to promote the sport and get mad at them because of the location. I mean, where else are they going to do it? You know what I mean? When you look around Central New York, if you're going to have a show of this magnitude, where else can you have it that would not involve using the fairgrounds? We don't have everything that was supposed to happen at Central New York Raceway Park. There was supposed to be that huge convention center style building, garage, whatever you want to call it, built there. But obviously we all know where that's at this point. So that's not happening. So this is the best opportunity we have. I guess you can move it to the Turning Stone or Vernon. I mean, it's just not going to be the same. It's Syracuse. That's where it's always been. I think that's where it belongs. And if you were at the show this weekend, the attendance, again, I work side by side with Jeremy Corcoran. We help him out with some different stuff for the program. And he talked about how great the show was on Friday and Saturday. He had a really good year. I know the Bicknell chassis went for $37,500. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's right. $37,500. And look, if you want a Bicknell now, that's the way to get it. Because last time I talked to Randy Williamson, they're building cars for mid-March right now. So if you want to get a head start on your season, and you want a Bicknell and you want it ready to go, pony up. And somebody did $37,500. So they got a quote unquote heck of a deal, but they got their car now instead of waiting until March.
Adam, we're talking about the trade show in Syracuse and how it's been working out. What are your thoughts on how that show and what its purpose plays in the deal down there?
The show is so important to the Northeast racing circuit, and my memories of that go back just 20 years. I know there's people that go back a lot longer than that, but the ringing in your ears of listening to that live auction all day Friday, all day Saturday, which is how it used to be. Now the auction's a very brief time, but I think it does still play a critical role because racing, that style of racing, so that industry is a very hands-on, you've got to be together with the people. That's how it is. You know what I mean? So you can watch it on TV or you can see things online, and that's fine and good. But the flesh and body people need to get together and have some beers and bench race and talk about what's going on and enjoy themselves. And that's what it's about. And that event is as good as any for doing just that.
Me personally,
yeah, good point.
I like to see cars. I like to see cars go in a circle. I am not. I enjoy it. Again, it's fun. The first day you're there, Friday night's fun. I went down Thursday, set up the booth, and did all that, and it's a good time. But I'd rather just see cars go in a circle, man.
Yeah, no, one weekend a year.
Yeah, okay, one weekend a year, I'm fine. But I got to do like 6 of these, so I'm over it already.
Yeah, I would be too. But that's why I say it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work if you're only getting some people together. And I know that not everyone in the racing world goes to that show, but that's the show that most people know. That's the show that most people will go. It's been far enough removed from racing that people at the local tracks are starting to miss it. You know what I mean? You miss the people that you hated all summer long. You're like, I want to see them. I want to know what they're up to. So, yeah, I just think that's a vital show, the November show, and, of course, the March show that was always the Gator show. Those are two shows that play an important role.
Yeah, and again, the Gator show kicks off racing in Central New York. So, that's the key there. And, and if you're not an internet guy, it gives you an opportunity to go and get your schedules and talk about some things. I know for us, at Dirt Track Digest, this is probably one of our most productive shows. We had a lot of great discussions in terms of marketing partners and things like that, and able to redo some deals and get those done and all that. And I know a lot of the drivers say the same thing. This is their opportunity kind of maybe try to get some deals, talk to their, the sponsors that they don't get to see all that much all year, pick up those products. I mean, I think DMI got rid of, they had 50 rear ends sitting there, that they were delivering, so it's definitely good for that. And I'll agree with you, Adam. It's a good chance to get together, bench race. I mean, I know I had a lot of fun, again, chatting all day. on Friday and Saturday, and again Saturday night. As always, the after party at the Dirt Cart Banquet, second to none. It was a good time.
The nice thing about being the big dog in town, and Dirt Track Digest has been for quite some time, all the people that you're going to visit, you are their outlet. You are where they go to understand what's up, right? So when you see them in November, it's still fresh in their mind. Like, yeah, of course we know who you are. We're there all, like it used to be. Yeah, we were there every Monday morning to find out what went on when. Now they're there all the time, constantly. The industry has changed so much in that short period of time, but it's still the go-to place, and that's your ace in the hole.
Yeah, that's,
well, moving on, guys.
Very good. Go ahead, Adam.
We had the Ash Weekend banquet on Friday night, and 600 people strong, Adam, and we've got a few things we're going to get to that. We'll get to the driver draw, but one of the things that came up there, first off, Adam, how cool is that? 600 people, packed house. I mean, I remember when we used to have trouble selling 200 tickets, so amazing turnout, and there were some folks who couldn't get into the banquet because it was sold out. So that's super cool.
Yeah, great atmosphere, great energy going on in that building. There were some really well-dressed people, Clinton. That was another thing I've noticed in contrast from the old days. People take it seriously. They get dressed up. They put on their Friday night best, and they come and show off and have a good time.
That brings us to our Burger Barn video of the week. Burger Barn, of course, is the world-famous Burger Barn located in Six Nations, Ontario. It's your destination for relaxed dining in a comfortable family atmosphere. The menu features traditional favorites served with a Burger Barn twist. And while you're there, don't forget to fill up with the brand-new Petro Plus travel stop. Burger Barn gift cards are available for Christmas in denominations from $2 to $200. A perfect gift for anyone, anytime. And if you can't make it, no worries, call ahead for takeout. The world-famous Burger Barn brings us our video of the week, Adam. And this week's video of the week was shown at the Ohsweken Banquet. Now, Ohsweken Speedway, we had the Aboriginal People's Television Network, which is a national broadcasting corporation here in Canada. They're nationwide, coast to coast. They're on every satellite and cable provider here in the country. And it's mainly native programming. And they have produced a documentary program called Friday Night Thunder based on Ohsweken Speedway, and we showed a bit of their sizzle reel. It got played at the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals party live late at night, and some of you might have caught it in our live stream broadcast of the banquet, but we're going to take a look at the first couple minutes of this, and we'll talk about it after, Adam, just about how, at least around our neck of the woods, the media has really latched on to the dirt racing and everything that we've got going on. So we'll talk about that right after. So here's your Burger Barn video of the week. Check this out. This is by Big Soul Productions. It's the APTN Friday Night Thunder pilot sizzle reel. Here we go, guys.
Don't sit back and let things happen. That
Man, that gives me chills every time I see that video. I think they've done an amazing job, Adam. And quick thoughts, guys, on it?
You know, my favorite part is watching Jordan do donuts on the four-wheeler. How sad is that?
He does them very well. My thoughts on it first were, when I first met the production crew, they'd never been to a race before. And our concerns are, are they going to be able to get this? Is this going to work out? And I think when we saw that video, we were totally amazed by it. I think we're super pumped up. And now that brings us to the point of the story, which is you brought it up in the post-race emails as our crew was debriefing or fighting, if you want to call it, over the weekend after the banquet. But, you brought up my speech about positivity pays, and I told them that 4 years ago. If we just stick together and stay positive, great things are going to come. And think about what we've built in the past 3 years last weekend. Just look at all the media we've got going now. I've signed major deals in the past 2 weeks that we're not ready to announce yet, but both of those come with major broadcasting rights and streams that we're not using right now. So when you look at that APTN documentary crew, our weekly stream, All North Racing, plus the two new crews the two new sanctioning bodies we just signed with that are going to bring two new avenues. We're going to be live on 5 different networks next year at Weekend Speedway. And I'm super proud of the progress we've had because our guys have stuck together, they've stuck with the plan, and now we've brought some amazing deals, and those guys are going to benefit from it. The race teams are going to be able to hopefully capitalize into making that work for them, and I'm super happy about that. Thoughts on that, and then we'll turn it over to Mallet for some remarks.
You said it all, Clinton. You've done all that. You've achieved all that as a standalone venue. Weekend Speedway, you look around, there are not very racetracks that work as a standalone place. They don't count on anybody else for cars, don't count on anybody else for a fan base. Weekend is on an island all by itself. And for a time, it's always been okay because Glenn Steyer's always put in the positive energy that was required to make it a cool place, Clinton. Even 20 years ago, 15 years ago, when there weren't that many cars, there weren't that many fans, but everyone felt good. Now that positive energy is combined with a show worth promoting and a promoter that's taken some risks and reinvesting in the facility, it's amazing. It's unparalleled, I would say.
No, we're definitely fortunate. Mallet?
Yeah, it's what you guys are able to do out there this weekend is definitely impressive. I give you guys a lot of props for being able to pull off all the things that you're able to pull off out there. I know we've tried some things in my area, and it's a little different, for us with the way our dynamic is here in Central New York. So it's nice to see you guys be able to get things done out there this weekend. And, for me, I love videos like that. And, every time I watch a video like that with the in-car camera stuff and you see the crashes, I mean, you think about how violent sprint car racing is in general, but then when you see the videos and how hard it hits those guys take, it almost takes your breath away a little bit, to see how those guys are bouncing around inside those race cars.
Clint, can we talk a little bit more about the banquet and how it creates such a toxic atmosphere for the people at one particular table?
I don't know if we want to get into our own personal dirty laundry.
Oh, no.
Let's just say it's stressful for me, you, and Greg, and we don't get along all week.
2 weeks ago, we got into our dirty laundry. So you know what? You guys get into your dirty laundry, and I'll sit and listen for a change.
I think people don't understand how much we dislike, how much we fear the banquet. When I say we, I mean you, Clinton, myself, and Greg Callan. You for different reasons because you got a million things to look after. But Mike, you can appreciate this. As a race announcer, you stand in a room isolated from the world and you let words fall out of your mouth at ludicrous volume. When you do a banquet, all the eyes are looking at you. It is 100% different than calling a race. You're standing, you might as well be naked because that's how you feel. Like people are just looking right through you. And the moments leading up to it, you're having dinner, you're thinking, my God, what can go wrong? You're going through the list of things that can go wrong, hoping you don't screw up this, It is the most stressful 2 hours of the year.
Well, and what's funny about that is when you do screw up, everybody knows you screwed up. Like when you're announcing and the cars are racing on the track, you screw up, you just kind of keep talking, and it's no big deal. And I remember back to one of the first banquets I ever did. I had my list in front of me, and I'm checking guys off, and I missed like the number 5, the 5th place guy in the sportsman standings. So I get all done. I interview the champion, and the one guy's like, "Hey, I got 5th," and I'm like, "Oh." He looked at
So
like,
you
oops.
did.
Yep.
It just creates, like, when you're nervous, you do dumb things and feel dumb things, and there we are at the front table, and it's bizarre. I don't know how better to describe it, but it's so stressful. People wonder. I'll bet you, Greg and I, and I'm not proud of this, but Greg and I were probably in the first 10 people to leave that event, because you get done, you're like, thank goodness we got through that without, it's completely imploding. I can't speak for Greg as to why he leaves, but I got to go de-stress somewhere.
I don't have to do that as much anymore. I'm lucky. I get to do the ESS banquet. Unfortunately, the ESS banquet's a little bit more. It's a fun event, but it's a laid back event, if that makes any sense. So you get guys up there, you get to kind of pick on them a little bit, get the joke around. So that kind of takes the stress off of all that for me. I was picking on Matty Williamson. One more story, Clint. I know you're ready to move on, but I was picking on Matty Williamson on Saturday night. He was getting all nervous. Like he whispers something to Shane at the start of the thing, and I'm not sure what he said. So afterwards, I go, "What are you doing up there? You're all shaking and everything. You got real emotional, all that." He goes, "No, I was so freaking nervous." And I just told him, "You got to remember that everybody in this room is just as full of crap as you are. So don't be nervous. It's no different than standing on the front stretch at a racetrack." He goes, "Mel, it's totally different." And to me, I don't know. I don't look at it any different, maybe because that's what my regular job is. I stand in front of people all day that stare at me and don't want to really listen to what I got to say. So maybe that's the difference. But, when him and I joked around about it the rest of the night, he's like, "I even had a list and all this stuff I wanted to thank." And yeah, I totally forgot. I was so nervous. So it's funny you bring that up, Adam, and it's a different feeling. It definitely is when you're in front of a banquet, but it's still fun. I still enjoy it, still have a good time. Not so much the suit and the tie and all that, because I'd like to meet the guy that came up with this idea that a suit and a tie makes me look dressed up. Because Adam, you would know, fat guys do not look good in that stuff. There's no way to make me look good.
I wore a dress shirt, no suit and tie for me.
Yeah, well, lucky you. I was just happy my suit buttoned still.
Oh boy. I was just going to say, you're right, Mal, because I'm getting there. The one thing that, I agree with you guys. As I explained to some people who asked me why we stressed out about it, I said, on a regular major event, the gate may have an issue or the kitchen may have an issue, but they only know their own issues. They don't realize the other department issues. Here, every department's sitting looking at us. And in Oshweekend, we end up doing a live stream broadcast, which is essentially a 2-hour live production and a 600-person live in-house production that we're trying to deal with. So it's quite an undertaking, and Spencer does a fantastic job getting ready for that. And of course, we can't thank him enough. But with that being said, we have some cool draws left over from the Oshweekend Speedway banquet. So all 360 sprint car drivers and crate sprint car drivers at Oshweekend Speedway with perfect attendance got entered into a draw. And let's just tell you what we've got going on. So there were a bunch of winners, a bunch of prizes were donated. Nathan Ackland Racing from Ackland Insurance, they donated a Wings Unlimited package that was won by Scott Kruder. An MPI steering wheel was won by Nick Sheridan. Moose setup blocks by Corey Turner. All-Star axle setup to Noel Teal. Dylan Westbrook run an axle wrench from Nitro 54 Variety. Sean Evans won a Triple X chassis from DSE. Paul Klager won a drum of fuel for the crates, and Jordan Hill won a drum of fuel for the Action Sprint Tour. Well, that leaves us to 5 draws we still have to get through, guys. So I've got all the remaining names who didn't win anything are in this cup. Hopefully you can see that. So they're all in there. All right, they're all on names. We're going to reach in and we'll pull out 5 names. So the first thing we will do is we'll give away Jimmy Lowenberg, Adam. And Jimmy Lowenberg's done an amazing job around our area. He's got all these guys working with the safety bars. He built that gorgeous car that Mark Bazine won Best Appearing Car with, and wants to get involved with Oshweekend Speedway. And there's Jimmy's logo. And to all the sprint car guys who race at Oshweekend Speedway, Jimmy's a young guy. He's got amazing fabricating skills. He's buying into the program at Oshweekend. Says he is willing to help anybody, even with 24-hour chassis service. So he says if you got a race on Friday and you wreck something and you got to get on the road for an action sprint tour or an SOS race on Saturday, call him. They'll take the car in overnight. They'll get it ready and they'll get you back out racing. And that's old school service that we love to see. So this first prize will be a chassis repair certificate. So you can use that to get your car repaired if you get into a jingle or have one that needs to be straightened. Or you can also get him to put in the new mandatory safety bars this year. So contact Jimmy and we'll reach in there. And I won't look. We'll just reach in there and pull out a lucky winner for the Jimmy Lowenberg package. And we've got, let's see if we can read that on the screen.
No.
Oh, wait, which way we're going with that? Kevin Pauls.
Nice.
Kevin
There,
Pauls
you can read
will
that.
win the chassis. All right. Next one will be for 3 Hoosier tires, courtesy of Hoosier Tire Canada, which I've got my Hoosier Tire cap on today. So reach in there, pull out a winning number, and the winning lady is Hannah Farrell. Hannah Farrell wins a Hoosier Tire. We got 2 more Hoosier Tires to go, and we'll reach in there and pull out 110 Jake Brown. 110 Jake Brown. And 1 more Hoosier Tire. We'll reach deep down in here and we'll pull out 43 Darren Dryden. So congratulations on the tires. One final package, and this is from the new Oshweekend Speedway Race Source, the Speedway's own parts shop. If you need sprint car parts and accessories, check it out. Oshweekend Speedway Race Source giving away a Slade Shock Technology certificate here. And we'll reach in there and pull out a name, and that name is Mitch Brown. Mitch Brown. So there you go. Sorry for everybody who didn't win, but there all your names were in there. So congratulations to our winners. Thanks so much. And that's a continuation from our Oshweekend Speedway draw. So I think we'll be doing some cool stuff like that. I like that draw, Adam. We're going to have to figure out some more product sponsors and maybe do one of those a week. I think it's a great way to get everybody watching and involved in the program. So thanks so much. What do you want to talk about now? Next on the list is the Rivalz.
You know what? Hold that thought. A really interesting comment. And this crossed my mind at the banquet. So Amanda Young says you should do an independent draw for all those who pay their own way to be at the track every Friday. So, for example, you've got, and that's a tricky one because you can't really
against the drivers who have rides, or is that what we're going against?
I would have been happy. I would have been happy if guys like Scott Burke, was he 100%er in the sprint cars? You know, if someone like that won the sprint car chassis, like you always cheer for the underdog, right? But even though Sean Evans, you know, he's got a car lettered up full of sponsors, I'm sure he appreciates it. Like you can't knock anyone who was there every week and winning these things. But yeah, it's definitely a different mix when you've got hired guns and you've got people that do all the work themselves and put their own blood, sweat.
On what the criteria was. It was perfect attendance for 360s and perfect attendance for the crate sprints. We had over 17 prizes to give away. So, you know, it's hard to say, oh, you have too much funding or you drive for the rich guys, so you're not eligible for that draw. You know, it's fair is fair. So I'm all right with that.
And I totally agree. It was an interesting point because it crossed my mind as the draws were. Kevin Thorne, for example, in the mini stocks, Mark Bazine in the Thunder stocks, guys who have good help, but you know what? It's more power to them for having the caliber of program to get that kind of support or for knowing where to go and ask for it.
Hey, Kevin Miller brings up a great comment. I just seen it. Thanks, Kevin, for reminding me. I did want to talk about that. The Glenn Stiers racing auction is up and running. They're already at $1,800 in raised money so far, and they're going to go out and buy gifts for underprivileged kids. So keep that coming. I know the donations have been rolling in the past few days, probably more than they have the past week for Kevin. Casey from O'Neill's just put out a amazing air compressor. I can't even imagine how many hundreds that's worth up for bid. And the bids was like $100 last night. So check it out. You can find on Facebook the Glenn Steyer's Racing Auction to help out the underprivileged kids. And I think that's an amazing thing they've got going on. Adam, let's talk about the Rivalz pools. What you're watching, the racing in our lower quarter there, that is the Rivalz Elite Pro Division. They're racing at Lanier tonight in the middle, or it looks like it's just about to line up for heat number 4, taking the Speedway right now. Adam, let's talk about the gaming. You can go to victorygames.com. That's Victory Games with a Z. Sign up and bet on the pools for the upcoming weeks for the Rivalz Racing League.
Well, and again, trying to integrate the gaming that we do every Friday night at our Weekend Speedway, do the same thing with our Tuesday night program. So it's pretty exciting to see those names pitted against one another. For tonight's race was the first of the pools. We plan to do it on a weekly basis. So why not try to make a little money in the off season?
No, it's going to be amazing. So check it out. They've also got NFL pools going and lots of other gaming. Anything else you want to check out, you can find it at victorygameswithaz.com. They've got all kinds of games for you to play, and make sure you check it out. Don't forget, email money transfer is the best way to get your money in. And they got a flash sale going on for those tuning in the broadcast. If you sign up on victorygames.com with the code ELITE, you get an additional $20 in free bonus funds to make your picks. First-time depositors get a $500, 500%, not $500 deposit bonus. And once again, email money transfer is the fastest, most secure way to play. Make sure you check it out. It is the Rivalz Rundown Elite games going on. Make sure you play the pools and also check out everything else. So, viewer's choice, Adam. What do we want to talk about here as we get set to go? Well, I know what we forgot. The Gobbler. Mallet, let's talk about the Gobbler coming up. Probably the final race of the season in the outdoor world, at least on the dirt, as far as I know. Thoughts about that coming up?
Well, I'm excited, of course. DirtTrackDigest.com doing the live, or DirtTrackDigest.tv doing the live feed from Saturday's racing action. So if you're out in the Ishweekend area, you can't make the 7-hour trek down to Accord Speedway. We'll be going live at 1 o'clock. With all the racing action. They got the big block, small block modifieds with sail panels going for $5,000 to win. Also have the 602 Sportsman on the docket for $1,500 to win. We have the street stocks, $500 to win, then an enduro that'll pay $1,000. So looking forward to getting back to Accord. I'm joining the announcing team for the day as well. So double fun for me. I haven't gotten to announce as much, as I used to with my new role at Utica Rome Speedway, being the race director. So I look forward to having a chance to call the races on Saturday afternoon and finish out 2019, at least the outdoor season, on a high note. So that should be fun, exciting. Expect a good field of cars. I was going back through the last few years, anywhere from 33 to 40 cars have competed in the event, and some big name drivers have gotten the win. Andy Becchetti won it last year. Anthony Perego, a 2-time winner. Danny Johnson has won it. And then there was the one year they had a nice little upset, and Jackie Brown Jr. took the win. So should be a great day. Come on out if you can to Accord Speedway and enjoy the Gobbler. I know, again, like I said, I'm looking forward to it, getting on the mic, and, of course, calling the action for everybody watching at home on DirtTrackDigest.tv.
Who's the house announcer down there?
It was Jay Severson. I don't have confirmation. I heard he might have had a lot of work-related stuff going on, so he might not be there. So for this week, it might be me. I don't know. I haven't had a chance too much to talk to Gary and see who I'm working with, if I'm working with anyone. If not, I've worked by myself before too. So, I'll go I'll just do however it plays out. I've been the sole guy before when I was at Fonda and when I was at Utica for a long time, did it by myself. So, hey, if I get to call the action on a Saturday afternoon by myself, hey, that's fine with me too. I just want to see some racing. Yeah. It's been
for
3 weeks. I'm already itching, going through the withdrawals. I mean, I wish they made pills for this stuff because I cannot handle this time of the year. It is awful. It is no fun for me. Everything slows down and you have 1 or 2 races and you got all this, midget stuff on the West Coast you can watch, I guess, but I'm not a midget guy. All right. I need my big blocks or I need my wing sprint car. So this time of the year kind of stinks in terms of getting to the races. So I know I'm pumped for Saturday.
Hey, more importantly, what did you think of Survivor Series last night?
You know what? I've been really getting into the NXT. I got to tell you, if we're going to switch to wrestling, I can go off on this for a while too. But I'm enjoying NXT. So that race fans, I hate to say this, but it almost goes hand in hand that you like wrestling. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but
It
many of
totally
my
it
racing
does.
friends, so many of my friends, we talk racing, we're messaging on Facebook, and we're watching Survivor Series. I thought, did you watch Next Takeover or no? The war
No.
games or the matches? Oh my God!
See,
what a fantastic show.
I watched the Grey Cup last night because I really wanted the Hamilton Tiger Cats to win, or Sunday night rather. But I'm happy for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. You know, they needed that. It had been a long time. But the game was over, so I switched over to Survivor Series. I was a little surprised to see the final match of the night was that triple threat women's championship match. I thought that's pretty bold. A ladies match to close off Survivor Series.
Well, look, the women highlighted, or they were the main match at WrestleMania this past year, the triple threat. So you expect that. You know, the women have been putting on great matches. You know, if you've been watching, you know, I at times I enjoy the storylines more with the women's matches, and no, it's not because I'm staring at them, but but they've been good matches. You know, the stories have been a little bit better. You know, and I think the shocking part, I guess maybe not, that NXT won the night of Survivor Series, but hey, you got to push those stars and push those guys because they got competition on Wednesday nights. You know, we got our Wednesday night wars instead of our Monday night wars. And now, Adam, I don't know if you have Netflix. Do you have Netflix? Because if you do, there's a new series on there called it's an old series, I guess, but The Toys That Made America. And GT, or The Toys That Made Us, GT got me clued into this. And there's a fantastic one on wrestling action figures. It's so good. And it goes through all the companies that bid on it and the whole process. I don't know if you watched it, but it was so good. And Clint, wake up. You look a little bored over there, buddy.
Well, okay. Clint, I'm going to challenge you this. As a racing commentator,
I'm going to challenge you guys to grow up. You're both over 18. What's with this shit? Let's get back on track. We got important stuff to talk about, okay?
I learn more from watching a night of wrestling about announcing, about commentating, than I would watching 20 races on TV.
I didn't catch what you said there, Spencer.
Did you catch what I said?
I wasn't listening.
Look at Clinton. He's
angry.
Are you going to take your ball and go home?
He's going into his wrestling character right now.
Friday.
I thought, here we are trying to run a show, and we had no more topics on the board. So I wanted to racing and sports entertainment are pretty damn similar.
Actually, there is a topic we have to talk about: the pinball. And I was just about to jump into that when you massively derailed my show. So thank you.
No problem. Where is it on the rundown?
It was typed into the typed out rundown before we went on the air, so I can't explain for where it is now. If you look at it, it's still there.
Poking the bear at him?
No, I'm with you.
So Pinball Guyverson, one of the cool things we were doing at the banquet is we talked about the high school building this car for Pinball Guyverson. So we went to announce at the banquet, and we hoped Pinball was going to be there. It turns out he was one of the ones who couldn't get a ticket because it was sold out. We were keeping things so secretive, and in 24 years, Mike had never missed a banquet, so we were dumb and assumed he was going to be there. And no, Mike wasn't there. So there's the car they purchased for him. The high school has done a great job getting it together. And Spencer, we can get off that shot. So they've done some great stuff, and they've got the car out. But the big deal was Pinball has agreed to take the ride, so he's going to go back to it. And Pinty's jumping on board. There's a shot of Pinball. So you see veteran Adam. He's never missed a race in the history of Washweekend Speedway. And it's been an amazing thing to see all the community jump on board to build this guy a car. That's the Chevette that made him famous. That's the blue Mustang he's currently driving now. So we're going to build him a new, safe, fast car. He accepted the ride, and we're going to get his seat down to Concept One Fabrication. They'll finish getting him fitted in there in the next couple weeks, and we'll get him ready to roll. So exciting news there.
I haven't heard a single negative comment about offering Pinball that ride. Mike Mallett, you don't know Pinball Guyverson. He is a character at the racetrack. He's legendary, and every comment I've seen is like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. You guys are doing such a great thing here by supporting pinball. 100% positive.
I want to know how long it took him to grow the beard, because that is a badass beard that he's got going on there. I mean, that thing's almost
That's 24 straight years.
That is,
you know what?
That thing.
It would be down to his feet if he ever trimmed it. He says he doesn't trim it.
Really?
Yeah, like I guess to make a beard grow like that, you have to trim a little bit, and then it grows and grows. And that's just him. Nicest guy, nicest person you ever want to meet.
Well,
yeah, when I talked to him last night on the phone, he said, I don't understand why all this is for me. He says, I don't really feel I deserve all this. And when you say character, Adam, that's almost unfair. He's just a true gentleman of the sport. Everybody in the pits absolutely loves the guy. Amazing guy, and we're super happy to do it. So we'll keep you posted on the progress of that. And that's all I got. 10 minutes to go. Viewer's Choice and Rivalz Elite Pro is on the Speedway, getting ready for their A-Main feature, where Steve Ovens will have the call here tonight.
Yeah, we don't have 10 minutes. They're doing the warm-up for the A-Main, so very soon they're going to start gridding for the A-Main tonight, Clinton. So I think we're going to have to butt out of here a little bit early because we don't want to clip any of the feature event.
Mike, thanks for joining us. Give us something good before you sign off, and then I'll let you know what's coming up in the upcoming weeks here.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me, guys. And just so you know, Clint, I cut back my vacation a couple hours so I could be on here tonight because I had I got big plans here this evening once we're done with this. So I'm on vacation for the next 4 days per se. So I could have some fun.
I told you could bring beer on the show. We didn't care if you had a beer on the show.
It wouldn't have been a beer, man. Come on.
Clint, can I talk a little bit more wrestling with Mike, or is that absolute? Like I'm trying to Did you watch any of the Broken Skull session, Mike, with Stone Cold and The Undertaker?
I'm gonna watch the replay on the. I'm gonna watch it. I haven't watched it. It was late. I was ready for bed. I was done. So, but I'm gonna watch.
Yeah,
it. But
I stayed up too late watching it. Clint, think of. I don't know who your childhood hero was. I know you're big into music, so maybe it's a rock star, maybe whatever. Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Undertaker, and it was actually Mark Calloway that was on the show. Undertaker never is out of character, but he was for this one-on-one with Steve Austin. They did shots of whiskey throughout the program. It was it was neat. It was neat.
That's cool. That's cool. So I'll sign off with this. Again, don't forget to check us out on DirtTrackDigest.com. We'll have content for you all winter long, and of course Saturday, the DirtTrackDigest.tv. You can go over and order that, pre-order, or you can order it day of. From the first green flag at 1 o'clock, we'll cover you all the way through the racing action on Saturday afternoon. So if you can't make it, hopefully you'll check us out on DirtTrackDigest.tv. I know it's our final outdoor event of 2019, so looking forward to that. And guys, as always, thanks for having me on here. I always appreciate it. Always have a good time talking racing. You know me, I can talk all night about racing. So if you ever need anybody to just the babble on and on, I'm your guy.
Thanks for being here, Mike. We appreciate it. And Clint, I've got an idea.
What's that?
Talking about that Stone Cold Steve Austin and Undertaker, I would like to do something similar with Glenn Stiers, where you sit down. It would probably be a 1 hour, 2 hour type deal, and just chat about
for 6 months.
Yeah, we haven't done it, but this is a little bit different. I want to talk to him about what led him to go race at Flamborough Speed. What led him to go car racing at all? Like at that time, he was kind of a playboy. He could do whatever he wanted. He could afford to have his fun, and he chose to go to Flamborough Speedway and drive a late model. And just the progression of deciding he wanted to build a speedway and life choices that he made. And I just think it would be, if you could sit there for a period of time, film the whole thing, I think it would be riveting. I think it would be fascinating.
Right on. Well, we're just about ready to go here at A-Main Racing. We'll turn it over to Steve Ovens for the call to race from the Rivalz Elite Pro Division. Don't forget, all week, make your picks on victorygames.com. Talk to you guys soon.
2 laps to go for Wagaman, but here comes Kevin Lowe. Position tonight, as you see the field starting to grid themselves up on the front straightaway. They'll get pushed off from there. And starting on the pole tonight, out of Drummondville, Quebec, Canada, driving team ABR. Pit Logic, CSI Shocks, BK Designs, Next Gen Fab, number 12, winner of the last 2 Rivalz Elite Pro Series events, that's Alex Bergeron. Alex Bergeron aboard car number 12 will take it away from the Hammer here tonight. Starting to his outside aboard car number 73 is going to be Larry Moody out of Kansas City, Missouri. Row 2 to the inside will be the 25 of Richie Preston. To his outside, the point leader, Jason Nygaard, car number 22 out of Metamora, Ontario. Jeremy Zarfos will take it away from position number 5 out of Windsor, Pennsylvania. Starting alongside the 20X of Kevin Ridley out of Waterloo, New York. Dr. Alan Downey will take it away from position number 7 in car number 33. He'll start alongside the 21 of Bryce Bailey. Shane Kelly, winner of the Oswegan Outlaws Racing League last night at the USA International Speedway, will start 9th alongside Harry Stewart in the 11. The big dog, Ryan Beagle, will start alongside Jim Smith in car number 12. Cody Hartlob will start alongside Dan Sider, the 2 and the 222. GT Smith out of Tampa Bay, Florida will start 15th alongside the 24 of Sean Timmerman. Starting 17th and 18th will be Kevin Lovies and Troy Wagaman. Kevin Hanley, Adam Buchanan will make up row 10. Row 11 is Donovan Ross and Chase Swafford, and row 12 is Jeffrey Barker and Ernie Williams Jr. All right. Getting ready to go racing here. Race fans, it's time to sit down and hold on to your seats because these men, by the grace of God, iRacing and 800 horsepower, are ready to go to work. The green flag is out. Week number 6 of the Rivalz Elite Pro Series is green. Bergeron will lead lap number 1 at the line. Larry Moody working him over there in car number 73, the Enrium Dynamics Oswegan Speedway sponsored ride. Moody off a solid second place effort last night at the USA International Speedway in Florida. Doing work here right now on Alex Bergeron. Bergeron up to the cushion, his teammate trying to follow him through. Yellow lights are on for the first time tonight here on lap number 3. Yellow, yellow, yellow. As we had a great race up front and a good start. 3 laps on the board. As Brad Ovens, our executive producer here with 39 Streaming for the Rivalz Elite Pro Series, working on a replay for us here to see if we can get a look at what happened to bring this yellow flag out. And you can see toward the middle of the pack, Dan Sider sideways collects 1, maybe 2 other cars there. As Sider made contact with the inside barrier, caught the front wing as well. And Sider into the work area for repairs, and it looks like he will rejoin the pack. So, great job there by Brad Ovens from 39 Streaming, giving us a great look. Field will be stacked up double file here for the restart. Now, Alex Bergeron does have the lane choice, inside or outside. He's chosen the inside lane. Green lights are back on. Bergeron got a great start off of turn number 4, and he'll immediately go back to the outside lane. Larry Moody through the middle in car number 73, and right behind them, we have got a great battle going on. Look at them fan out 2 and 3 wide off of turn number 4. Oh, baby, look at these guys. 4/10 of a mile racetrack, and it's got a lot of racing room, as there are 4 different lanes of racing being used right now. Make it 5. Almost 3 wide for the lead off turn number 2. Bergeron, Nygaard, and Moody. What a battle up front. Moody gonna hold off Nygaard, but Nygaard back to the outside. Almost a dead heat at the line for second place. Jeremy Zarfos, Bryce Bailey, Richie Preston, all right there behind him from 4th on back. Matter of fact, position number 4 is 3 wide off turn number 2. Preston caught the outside guardrail just a little bit, as did Nygaard. Nygaard solidly in the 2 spot now. Moody is right there. Now you watch Bryce Bailey, the 25 of Richie Preston. Oh, a little contact there, but they'll keep on going. Wow, close racing here at the Lanier National Speedway. What a race. as Bergeron and Nygaard now trying to search around to see where the fast line is. But this battle behind them is a good one. Bailey is up to, oh, look out, contact there in turn number 2. And that might put us under the yellow, and yes, it will. Looked like Shane Kelly got sideways. And I have a feeling, Brad, that this was kind of a chain reaction as a couple of cars slowed up. And things happen so fast here at the Lanier National Speedway. Let's watch the replay as you ride on board or ride and take a look here at Shane Kelly. And one car got sideways in front of him, and the rest was history. And I'll bet Kelly had a heck of a view from seeing what was all transpiring. Let's ride on board with him here as they go into the corner, and it looks like that's Ryan Beagle right in front of him. It looked like Beagle checked up just slightly, just enough that the closing rate for Kelly was pretty quick there. And nowhere to go there as a couple cars got collected up there. Kelly started 9th. He'll now be shown in position number 23. Double file restart as we're now halfway home, 15 laps in and 15 to go. Bergeron, Nygaard, Bailey, Moody, Preston, and the 11 of Stewart. Your top 6 positions. Here coming back to the green flag. Green lights are back on. 14 laps to go. Alex Bergeron looked like he slid the tires a little bit up on the top side. And now here comes Bryce Bailey, who's getting a great bite down to the bottom. Bailey battling Nygaard for position number 2, and they make contact. Bailey is sideways into turn number 1. Oh, and now he hits the guardrail. 4 cars are going to pile into that one. Yellow lights are on here with 12 to go. Oh, man. What a run Bryce Bailey had going. Battling for the 2nd spot, looking for the lead. And you're going to watch the replay here. Let's watch Bailey down the front straightaway, and Nygaard with a left-hand turn going to turn number 1. And Bailey not being very bashful about it as he made a comment over the radio about it. Bryce Bailey not happy at all with Jason Nygaard in the 22. As Nygaard went to change lanes from the top to the bottom. Let's ride on board with Bailey, and there comes Nygaard. And then it was on from there as Bailey got sideways, gathered it back in, but then clipped the barrier with the concrete, or clipped with the left front tire, excuse me. 20 laps on the board, 10 to go. There'll be 9 laps to go when we take the green. A little bit of controversy here on a lap 18 yellow. Team ABR cars up on the front row. Green flag is back out. 9 laps to go here. Bergeron going to take it up to the cushion off turn number 2. Nygaard getting a pretty good run as they'll both work the outside lane, and now look at the 11 of Stewart down to the inside. Stewart is up to 3rd and now going to take it back down to the inside lane one more time. Trying to battle, trying to claw his way up into a battle here with Jason Nygaard. He's right now fighting with Larry Moody for position number 3, as I think Bergeron might have got either into the bumps or into the barrier that time. Stewart running in the 3rd spot as they work down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Larry Moody now takes it through the middle, trying to battle for that 3rd spot here with just 6 laps to go. So Alex Bergeron trying to make it 3 wins in a row here for the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. He's got his teammate Nygaard behind him. Sean, oh, we got one car up against the concrete in turn number 4. That's Dan Sider, race director, calling. He's got to clear that car off the racetrack. As they race off of turn number 4, here with 4 laps to go. And Alex Bergeron continues to show the way. The battle is right now for position number 3. Bergeron holding on to the top spot here. Timmerman taking a peek at Larry Moody. 2 laps to go. As it's Alex Bergeron leading Jason Nygaard down the back straightaway as they race into your living rooms into turn number 3. Bergeron holding on to the top spot. Could it be a Team ABR 1-2 finish 2 weeks in a row? White flag is on the racetrack. Bergeron out of Drummondville, Quebec, Canada, down the back straightaway for the final time. Nygaard running in second, but it's going to be Alex Bergeron in the Pit Logic. CSI Shocks, BK Designs number 12, 3 in a row for Alex Bergeron. Second place for Jason Nygaard. Larry Moody will finish third. Harry Stewart fourth. Sean Timmerman 16th to 5th will round out your top 5. Jeremy Zarfos, Ernie Williams Jr., Richie Preston, Alan Downey, and Kevin Ridley will round out the top 10. 11 through 20 was Cody Hartlaw, Brian Beagle, Troy Wagaman Jr., Kevin Hanley, Shane Kelly, Jim Smith, Jeffrey Barker, Chase Swafford, GT Smith, and Kevin Lovies. And rounding out the field tonight in 21st was Adam Buchanan, Dan Sider 22nd, Bryce Bailey 23rd, and Donovan Ross will finish in 24th, 17 laps down to the leader. So there you have it. Alex Bergeron picks up 3 in a row here tonight. And we are going to head down trackside to talk to your top 3 finishers. And we're going to start it off tonight with your third place finisher, car number 73, Larry Moody. Larry, a second place finish last night with the Ohsweken Outlaws. And you said how much you look forward to running with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series tonight. A podium finish, man. You got to feel great about that.
Yeah, what a week, man. That's pretty awesome, especially to run with those 2 guys up front. That's pretty neat.
And let's talk about how, I mean, the 2 tracks that you ran on last night and tonight, they couldn't have been more different.
I completely agree. I really don't know, why I've had such good luck the last couple of days, but yeah, 2 different tracks and good results. So it's a good deal.
And I saw that late in the race, you were really trying to work that middle lane, and you really have to be so ginger on that throttle pedal not to break those tires loose and lose ground.
Well, it worked last night. I thought I'd try it again tonight. It wasn't. It was pretty tough out there. It was really slick, so it was tough holding that bottom.
What more did you need tonight to try and battle with Jason or Alex tonight?
More talent. That's about it.
All right, man. Well, a great job to finish third place here tonight. A great week for you and the team. Tell us about the folks that help you out.
Glenn Stiers, appreciate that. All the guys at UDSRA for helping out with setups, and you guys for putting on the broadcast. Man, this has been fun. I said last night I thought we were gaining on them, and I think we did. So it's a good day.
Well, a great run here for Larry Moody tonight. He's going to come home in the third place. So that is 2 podium finishes for Larry Moody this week. And now let's bring in the second place finisher tonight, car number 22. Jason Nygaard. Jason, great job tonight. A solid effort for you.
Thank you, guys. I got to first and foremost apologize, Bailey. I had a run on Alex, and I thought I had enough room to try and slide Alex there, and I chopped his wing really bad, and I did not mean to do that. So sorry to him, first and foremost. And I had a great. Other than that, my massive mistake, I had a great race tonight.
You know, that's the one thing I think that we see at these short tracks, especially Lanier. Things happen. I mean, I can tell you, Jason, just from the broadcast side, things happen so fast here at Lanier. I mean, that 30-lap race, it seems like we just started it and we're already done and in victory lane here. So I can't imagine what that feels like, you know, behind the wheel, how fast things happen. And it's also important to mention to the fans that are watching tonight, no mirrors are used here in the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. So you have that, you know, almost working against you as well.
Yeah, because you have to have a lot of awareness without having these mirrors on, and it, you know, that just shows that I need to work. I need to work on it some more, and just keep building from that.
Another 1-2 finish for you guys. You guys were solid right out of the box tonight, whether it was time trials, the heat races, or here in the A main. You guys really put in a solid effort. And for Alex, he wasn't climbing from the C main tonight.
No, he he went out there and got quick time, and I'm actually happy. I qualified better than I have been last few weeks. I've been like mid pack, and I got, I think, fourth tonight, and then the track went to the high side, and I'm really good on running the wall here, and went from fourth and went from fourth to the lead and won my heat race, and that set up to have a real good night. And we just keep building.
A solid night for you tonight, Jason. Tell us about the folks that helped make it happen for you.
Shout out to the team, Team ABR. Shout out to Alex for the support he gives me. Worked with him for a couple nights this week on getting the car ready for tonight. Dirt Armada, Wicked Cushion, Next Gen Fab, CSI Shocks, the Pit Logic app, and you guys broadcasting it, Rivalz putting this series on, and iRacing for having the sim.
All right, there's Jason Nygaard finishing in position number 2 here tonight. And now let's work our way over here to talk to tonight's winner, Alex Bergeron, who started from the pole tonight. He was your fast time trialer of the evening as well. As Bergeron joins us here in the 3-9 streaming booth. And Alex, you know, a far comparison from last week when you had to come all the way from the C main.
Absolutely. You know, we had a great run tonight. Jason and I, you know, we ran an awesome race. The top side was the fastest. I tried to bomb a couple of laps, and you know, I just had to go back up there, and we ran a fantastic race tonight.
Jason talked about how the difference for him tonight was time trials, and how he was able to time trial a lot better tonight than he had been. Tell us a little bit about that, because you've been on the iRacing World Dirt Track Championship Series. How important is that time trial effort to start off your night?
Oh, it's very important. You know, it could be, you know, it could change. You know, even if you know, time trial not so good, you can still, you know, overcome that. And just like we've seen last week, you know, it's not about time trial, but bad luck in the heat race. But I was able to come back from the back. But you know, time trialing good is always an important thing, because you can start up front in the heat race. You know, even though there's inverts, you start up front, and then you just, you know, hold your spot and stay up there, and then you can, you know, avoid the wrecks and, you know, avoid bad luck in the feature, so you can, you know, get more points at the end of the night. So super important. But Jason has improved so much during the season, and, you know, I'm so happy to see him up here, and having a race against him is awesome. So I couldn't be happier about that.
Tell us how much the track changed tonight, because it looked there at the end of the feature like it really got pretty slick there at the end.
Yeah, I was not ready for that. You know, car was, you know, holding pretty good there at the end. The car just kind of faded away a little bit, and you know, it was still fun. The track was very slick, but the track really didn't change much during the whole night. You know, it stayed up top for the whole race. I know some guys were running the bottom, the middle, but our cars were, you know, very fast up there, and that's why we stayed up there all race and all night. So, you know, I think we made another great event tonight, another great night of racing, and I think hopefully the fans out there liked it.
You know, you guys have been on such a good run here lately. 3 wins in a row now for you personally. You guys have been on a great run here, and racing, it doesn't always go that way for a team. How do you guys take this 3 wins in a row for your team, and now 2 straight top 2 sweeps? How do you take that and keep that going, as now we're going to have a little bit of a break here in December?
Yeah, you know, we look forward to every race. You know, we don't think about, you know, our streaks or, you know, something like that. We think about the race that's next, and we work hard for it. You know, we put all our effort into this, and you know, this team is very good, and I'm proud of what we achieved so far, and we all put work into this, and it pays off. So a win, top 5, top 2, finishing a race, it's always good, and I guess at the end of the season, if we keep on going like this, and we end up in a pretty good shape.
One thing I want to ask you about before we get you out of here, we know that Lernerville Speedway is coming here to iRacing here pretty soon. How forward are you looking to that? Because the photos and the video we've seen so far looks pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that. Track seems to be awesome, and we don't have guardrails from turn 1 to turn 4, so that's gonna be interesting. We're gonna see guys falling apart and just going over the track. So if you push the limit of that track, it's gonna bite you. So it's gonna be interesting, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, tell us about all the folks that helped make it happen for you here, Alex.
Well, I got to thank Team ABR. Jason, you finished second tonight. Good job to him. I thank my girlfriend Rebecca, who's being on the box tonight for the team and helping us out. And everybody supports us, all our sponsors, partners, CSI Shocks, BitLogic app, who made this possible for us to be on the track for the season. Rivalz, BK Design, Smart Ring, Farm Equipment. Jason's all sponsor of Jason's as well. Everybody that supports us, all the fans out there who watch the race, my dad as well. You guys for broadcasting, doing an awesome job. Rivalz Racing for putting the league on, and having us to be able to be on the racetrack every week. And we're having fun here, and it's a pleasure to be on the racetrack.
Great job, Alex. Congrats on 3 in a row.
Thank you.
All right, there's Alex Bergeron. Tonight's winner of 3 in a row here for the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. He's now got wins notched at Knoxville, Volusia, and Lanier, and that was after a win earlier in the season down at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So congratulations out to Team ABR, a 1-2 sweep here tonight at the Lanier National Speedway. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Special thank you out to the Rivalz Elite Pro Series for having us here to broadcast this great event. Remember, you can watch them and follow along on Facebook. That's facebook.com/Rivalz Racing. That's facebook.com and Rivalz with a Z, Rivalz Racing. You can also visit them online at rivalzracingleague.com for all of the press releases, schedule changes, and point standings. Visit rivalzracingleague.com. On behalf of Brad Ovens, our executive producer in the 3-9 Streaming Studios, my name is Steve Ovens here in the booth. Happy to have called the action for you here tonight. Congratulations to Alex Bergeron, winner of 3 in a row here with the Rivalz Elite Pro Series. We'll see you in a few weeks. Good night, everybody.